The world's most elite grapplers return to the UFC Apex for an unforgettable night of submission warfare at UFC Fight Pass Invitational 10. In our main event, the winningest FPI athlete of all time, Nick Rodriguez, looks to extend his dominance on the mat.
Nicky Rod gets on top, passes the guard, controls the opponent, exposes his weakness, and then submits our opponent in dominant fashion.
After his submission of Michael Pixley at FPI 8, Nicky Rod is hungry for more. But standing in his way once again is the man who's defeated him 3 times before, Victor Hugo.
Nicky is a very tough opponent. I know he's athletic, I know he's fast, but I think I can match all of that, plus my technique.
Can Rodriguez finally overcome the Brazilian powerhouse? Or will Hugo continue his reign of supremacy? In the co-main event, it's an all-out war for the ages. Renato Canuto, the hometown hero and undefeated FPI athlete, takes to the mat for his 4th straight appearance, eager to prove his place as one of the best in the game. Standing across from him is the dangerous Oliver Taza, a rising star from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, who's looking to make a statement and show the world he's ready for the top. It's an electric night filled with rivalries and fierce competition. Live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is UFC Fight Pass Invitational 10.
'24 was undoubtedly the biggest year in submission grappling history. Tonight, we turn the page to an even bigger year in 2025. We're back in the combat sports capital, Las Vegas, Nevada, inside the UFC Apex for an exciting night of submission grappling you cannot miss. In our main event, we'll see the $1 Million Man, the winningest athlete in FPI history, Nick Rodriguez. He has done and seen it all in jiu-jitsu, and tonight he hopes to cement his legacy in our main event. One thing that Nicky Rod has yet to do is beat this man, Victor Hugo. He has shined on this FPI stage and proves that he is one of the elite grapplers in the game today. In our main event, he hopes to steal the shine of Nick Rodriguez. Live from inside the UFC Apex, you're tuned in to the Fight Pass Invitational. Alongside the Ultimate Fighter Live winner, Michael Chiesa, and the man who knows, B-Mac Brandon McCatherine, I'm TJ DeSantis. Thanks so much for joining us here for the UFC Fight Pass Invitational. Michael, it's very interesting to look at the UFC and where it started. Basically, it was a paid program for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We've come full circle, and now the UFC is focusing its attention on building the sport of Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, when the UFC machine gets behind any combat sport, they take it to the next level, and it's just crazy, boys. This is the 10th Fight Pass Invitational, and look how much it has grown. And there's no better athlete to be in one half of that main event than the $1 Million Man. I'm talking about Nicky Rodriguez. He is a staple of this promotion. He is the face of the promotion, and he gets to lock horns with somebody he's all too familiar with in Victor Hugo. 2 big boys throwing down in the main event. It doesn't get much better than that.
B-Mac, we've arrived at FPI 10. These cards keep getting bigger and better. This one might be the most stacked yet.
It's probably the most stacked card that we've ever had here at FPI 10. And I feel like I say that every time we have a new event, but this really feels like the beginning of a new era of BJJ. Take a look at this card. Renato Canuto and Taza in the main event. You got Clay and St. Marie going down, super high-level ladies match. Ronaldo Jr., Daniel Savo, these guys are buried down in the middle of the card. This thing's insane. Helena Carvar.
A lot of money players in the mix tonight, but look at the man in the main event, the $1 Million Man, Michael Chiesa. Nicky Rod, he might be the face of jiu-jitsu right now.
He is the face of jiu-jitsu, but let me tell you something. In his last match against Michael Pixley's such a dangerous wrestler, and he fought fire with fire. He did a good job using his elbow passes to get to his takedowns where he can get to the body lock. When he gets to the body lock and takes you down, he's got his body lock passing is a thing of beauty. He will dissect you and cut through your guard with that body lock pass. Not to mention, in his last 5 matches, he's got 5 rear naked choke finishes, so best believe if he gets his hands locked, you are in deep trouble.
B-Mac, you are the man who knows. Tell us what we need to know about Victor Hugo.
Well, the problem with that Nicky Rod body lock pass, he's going to have to pull it off against probably the best guard player in the heavyweight division in Victor Hugo. Victor plays that classical, timeless jiu-jitsu. He can pull you down into his closed guard, find a submission, find a sweep, and more importantly, he can drag you out into the deep water and submit you, which is what we saw him do with Daniel Sori.
We'll see what happens tonight in our main event spotlight. For more on it, we go to the 4th member of our broadcast team. Standing by, it's Morgan Worth. Morgan, take it away.
Well, TJ, revenge, redemption, and pride are all on the line when tonight's main event hit that Fight Pass Invitational floor. The B team's Nick Rodriguez and Brazil's Victor Hugo have gone head-to-head 3 times over the past 5 years, all of which resulting in a ref decision in favor of the Brazilian. Now, since the last time these two met in early 2024, the $1 Million Man, Nicky Rod, feels he has made tremendous strides in his technique and is excited to showcase that here tonight. The Black Belt Slayer has one giant he has yet to conquer, but as the winningest man on the Fight Pass Invitational, he feels that there's no better place to find victory. Now, looking at the other side of this main event, 27-year-old Victor Hugo is not satisfied coming into this quadrilogy matchup, stating there's unfinished business as he plans to impose his big man flow, create an opportunity, and submit Nick Rodriguez once and for all. But TJ, we are in for a treat as both of these athletes look to keep this out of overtime.
Thanks, Morgan. Appreciate it. We are in store for an exciting night of submission grappling, so let's take a look at the rules for the Fight Pass Invitational 10. Our matches tonight consist of 1 submission-only regulation period. If no submission occurs, the match extends to overtime. In overtime, a points-based scoring system will come into play. Points can be awarded by the referee once a position is held for more than 3 seconds. If the score is tied at the end of overtime, a winner will be determined by the judges. Take a look at the tail of the tape for our first matchup here at the FPI 10. The Brazilian Carlos Henrique. He takes on Victor Del Biero. Henrique is 25 years old, 4 years the elder of the American in Victor Del Biero. All right, time to get things started. We go to the mat. Here is Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 10. Live from the UFC Apex, Las Vegas, Nevada. Our first match is a 155-pound no-gi singles match, scheduled for 6 minutes plus overtime. Introducing to you first, in the blue corner, with an official weight of 153 pounds, out of VRMA Fight Sports, Miami, Florida, Victor Del Biero. And in the red corner, with an official weight of 154 pounds, out of Orindebro Jiu-Jitsu, Manaus, Brazil, Carlos Henrique. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog is the man in the middle.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
We have Brazil's Carlos Henrique taking on the American Victor Del Biero.
Come on, man. Henrique coming out right away and getting busy.
Henrique gets the bottom position, now trying to shoot that triangle.
And check out how Del Biero brings his leg over to defend the triangle, throws it across the waist.
I usually use that as a last line of defense. Usually I'm going to use my posture, try to control my limbs, be responsible with my arms, but he opts to throw a leg over.
And Henrique trying to switch off to a shoulder lock, trying to control the elbow, maybe move to an omoplata, but Del Biero sniffed that out pretty early. He's latched onto a leg, trying to secure the knee line. He's dragged the knee line inside, switching off to a 50-50. He's going to hunt for the heel.
Attacking that right leg, it looks like Henrique is out of danger.
Out of danger and straight into his offense as well. Jumps on the front headlock attempt.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a cup on the chin right now.
Yeah, he's got that chin strap now, switching off to the crossface. Going to try to use that to flatten him out, pop his leg out of this quarter guard position. Del Biero trying to come up on the dogfight, though. Nice work. Ooh, switched off to an anaconda here. He's got a good bend on the head. He's got the legs tangled up. That's going to be hard.
It's going to be very hard to defend, but Del Biero's got to get his chest to the mat, try to get low, and Henrique loses the anaconda, still ends up on top.
Yeah, using the threat of the choke to pass the guard to try to gain dominant position. He's back on again with that chin strap grip. Tries the wing sweep back to the other side.
It's been all but 60 seconds, and I think we've seen like 12 submission attacks so far, boys. We're off to a good start here at FBI 10.
And Hike, the favorite in this fight, minus 600 line on him, but Delabero's been game here thus far.
Nice sweep there. Delabeiro trying to control the angle. He wants to slip around to the back. I mean, just very good movement by him and Enrique, following the pressure and the movements of Delabeiro.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of just like surfing on top, not taking up too much space, but not giving Delabeiro too much.
North-south.
He's going to attack the head again.
Delabeiro's got to watch for the Darce choke who comes up on that left hip.
A step over to mount here by Enrique.
Let's see what he chooses to do with this with the arm trap around the back. He may switch off to a mounted go-go plata. Oh, he goes rolling around, turns it into an omoplata from the top. Delabeiro counters, follows the movement.
That wouldn't have been my first option from the top. I would have rather stuffed the arm and go for a topside triangle. Omoplata's a little easier to defend, or should I say a lot easier to defend without the gi.
Yeah, you should. You should say a lot. It's a lot easier to defend without the gi.
Yeah.
But I like that Enrique's willing to try things, even though he's in a dominant position. He could have stayed there and cooked him a little bit longer, but willing to try to jump on something just to create some movement, create a little action for us to watch.
Well, in all honesty, that's how you work your way up from the opening, the curtain jerker at an FBI event. That's how you work your way up to getting into one of those main card spots. Is you got to take chances, you got to go for big moves, big finishes, and it's good to take chances on yourself in situations like that.
Here's this Darce attempt again.
Drop that right shoulder down.
He would be thinking about a Japanese necktie, the way he's bending the head with the vice grip. He uses it to try to trade off into a Darce now. Got sort of a short arm. There's this short arm Darce, trading back off, switching to the Darce on the other side maybe. Just back and forth with these front head attacks.
Yeah.
Got a very big arsenal.
Yeah, that short arm Darce just reminds me of Islam Makhachev. Probably hits that short arm Darce as good as anybody, if not the best guy to hit it in the UFC.
Yeah, probably the best one I've ever seen at a high level.
Yeah.
With the short arm, for sure.
Yeah.
Touch over a minute remains here in regulation.
Now let's finish, Carlos. We're under a minute left.
Oh, man, wrapping the head. The great popper.
Yeah, that's nasty. Oh, that's bad when he's got his hand on the bicep.
You can get a lot of pressure like that. I was just going to say, you got to be careful that you don't lift your chest up off the position too much, and he switches off to a mounted triangle. Great shot.
He might have that. He's got the angle.
He's probably going to have to attack the arm.
Yeah, because he's not going to be able to get to the legs.
Attack the arm with this.
Delabeiro's smart to drop to his hip so that
extend arm.
So he can't get into that leg, but he switches to the arm bar. Oh, he's got it in the armpit. He might have that.
And Enrique in business here with his arm bar. He gets the tap. Nicely done, Carlos Enrique. Getting his submission in regulation. Putting his name on the map in a big way here to kick off the Fight Pass Invitational number 10. Solid stuff for the Brazilian, Carlos Enrique. And it really was all offense from him throughout. And ultimately, he gets the submission. Taking home the win here in Las Vegas. Take a look at the replay here. Mike, walk us through.
Yeah, look at this. He pins down the left arm of Delabeiro, and look at this. He jumps for the triangle, and Delabeiro's smart. Look, he seals off the left hip, so he can't underhook and get the angle. And you see right here, this is where he switches to the arm, starts to extend the arm, and you can see Delabeiro tried to use his leg to stop it from locking his hands, but look. Watch what he does with his left hand. Puts the arm into his armpit, and then he extends with his back. So he's using the strongest parts of his body to extend the arm and get the tap. Just an incredible submission win for Carlos Enrique.
Solid stuff from Carlos Enrique. Justin Bernard will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match for your winner by submission via armbar, Carlos Henrique.
All right, I'm here with Carlos Henrique. Great job. Just a beautiful display of submission offense. You were moving all through front headlock positions. You passed the guard, got to the mount. Did you know that you were going to be able to get a lot of action off of that front headlock tonight?
Yeah, first of all, thank God. Without him, I'm not going to be here tonight. Thank you, Eric, for the opportunity to submission 100. I won the 80-man bracket right there, and now they invited me right here. But about my match, I'm not surprised if nothing I already did. Everything's like it's my plan, go for the headlock, guillotine, all this kind of stuff, then I just apply. It's out my playing game.
And you were able to get to the mounted triangle ultimately. You had a mounted position earlier, and it looked like you kind of jumped off looking for an omoplata when he had his hands locked.
Yeah. When I get them out, he's bumped me over, and I lost, but then I need to get them out again. And the second time, I did lose, so it's great. It's great and more.
Yeah, great arm lock. You stuck that arm down there into your armpit, extended, had a good angle right here. It was just really beautiful work with your jiu-jitsu. Are we going to see you back on this stage? If so, got anybody in mind that you want to face?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, UFC Fight Pass. Everything's amazing. I hope I'll be here soon. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Henrique.
Carlos Henrique shining tonight in the opening fight here of the UFC Fight Pass Invitational. Solid stuff for the Brazilian as he goes home with the arm bar finish. Catch the official UFC 313 weigh-in show from Vegas. Join Daniel Cormier, Laura Sanko, Chris Weidman, and Dan Helly as they get you warmed up for UFC 313. The pay-per-view goes down at T-Mobile. It is live this Friday at 11:50 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, UFC Fight Pass.
Apareceu essa oportunidade de lutar, de estrear no UFC Fight Pass, uma luta sem kimono. E não pude perder a oportunidade de estar no UFC Fight Pass. Teve a oportunidade, a data encaixou. Falei, é só treinar agora. E tenho gostado bastante de treinar sem kimono. Sinto que estou evoluindo bastante assim, em pouco tempo. Já ganhei o Mundial sem kimono, também acho que é um título que conta bastante, né? O Mundial da BJJF vai sempre ser um título mundial, né? Igual vencer uma Olimpíada, eu acredito. Eu e o Daniel, a gente já se conhece desde quando ele veio para Atos. Eu já estava na Atos, ele veio para Atos, a gente morou junto na casa da Tades, então dividia quarto com ele e tudo mais. Hoje ele não faz mais parte da equipe, né? Tem alguns meses que ele saiu da equipe, tá representando a Aliança aqui em San Diego. Então não vejo motivo de não lutar, acho que nós dois somos atletas profissionais e espero que a gente consiga fazer uma boa luta. Treinei bastante com ele, até vendo as últimas performances recentes dele, assim, eu vi que o jogo dele não mudou muita coisa. Consigo imaginar o jogo que ele vai fazer, assim, ele não é um atleta que constrói muitas posições. Eu estou confiante no meu jogo, acho que eu sou bem o oposto dele. Eu já não sou um atleta que sou conhecido por dar muito bote, assim, e ataque oportunístico, assim, mas eu vou construindo o meu jogo ali em cima do adversário conforme o tempo, né? Acho que isso é uma grande diferença minha e dele. Então são dois ritmos e jogos bem diferentes, mas acredito que com 10 minutos eu consigo chegar numa posição boa ali de domínio e finalizar a luta. Fala galera, Andy Murasaki aqui, tô aqui para convidar vocês a assistir minha estreia no UFC Fight Pass. Vai ser em Las Vegas, dia 6 de março, vocês podem assistir a transmissão através do UFC Fight Pass. Conto com a torcida de vocês. Força.
The king of middleweight, Isaiah Quiñones, taking on undefeated Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux. wants to land a big one here.
We definitely got to run it back again.
It's the rematch that we have all been waiting for. Isaiah Quinones against Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux.
Chins are going to get tested.
In the co-main, our first ever lightweight title fight.
They're going to slap each other's heads off, and we've got 2 title fights. It all goes down at the beautiful Fountain Blue Las Vegas. Here we go.
Our action continues here at the Fight Pass Invitational 10 as a pair of ladies at 125 pounds are set to take the map. We see the American Alex Enriquez take on Brazil's Julia Alves. For our official introductions, we go back to the mat with Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is a 125-pound women's no-gi singles match, scheduled for 6 minutes plus overtime. Introducing to you first in the blue corner with an official weight of 124 pounds out of GF Team Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Julia Alves. And in the red corner with an official weight of 123 pounds out of Atos Jiu-Jitsu, Atlanta, Georgia, Alex Enriquez. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Shake hands. Let's fight.
TJ DeSantis along with Michael Chiesa, BMAC, Brandon McCatherine, live here inside the Apex. We see Alex Enriquez meeting Julia Alves.
Alex has been absolutely terrorizing the entire women's division in the southeastern U.S. for quite a while, and then just in the last couple of years, she's really started to make her name for herself on the national scene, particularly like the last 18 months or so, I would say. Alex is a very strong wrestler, so I know that she's going to come out here and put on a good show for us.
Yeah, you can tell she's strong in the wrestling department, looking to get to her slide bys. Love the way that she's hand fighting, controlling the ties, and a good wrestling stance as well.
Enriquez getting a hold of the neck there. Alves pulling it back though. Now Alves takes a seat.
Watch the inversion, watch the inversion.
Alves playing with sort of a reverse De La Riva style guard, using the left foot, push away on Alex. She's trying to take a grip 2-on-1 on the far side. Alex addresses the foot. It's good off balance by Julia.
Took a little foot to the face there.
Some call it a kick, some call it a push.
Yeah.
Julia will have to be really careful playing this kind of game with Alex. Alex has been doing no-gi pretty much exclusively for the last couple of, at least competitively, for the last couple of years. She's very well versed in the leg game. She's won a lot of really high-profile tournaments where she's had to deal with that kind of game. And so I think that that could be an advantage for her if Julia's not really careful. She's using these inversions, trying to get onto the legs and maybe turn that into a back take. Just be very careful doing those transitions against Alex.
Yeah.
BMAC, you and I called a one-night tournament on Fight Pass where Alex Enriquez got 4 wins in one night to get her hand raised. And interesting to see her back here on this stage. And just one fight tonight for her to focus on.
Just one to focus on tonight, but she's got her hands full. Alves is a very scrappy athlete. We saw her at the weigh-ins yesterday. Everybody was just blown away by like her athletic presence, her physical prowess.
So, she's going to clasp on that shoulder.
Alex going to use it to pass though. Jumping on the arm, not there.
If she would have just had the butterfly hook, she could have elevated her and used almost like a shoulder crunch sweep to get on top. But Alex is savvy to it. Now they're back in the leg entanglement.
When you saw how Alex turned Julia's offense into her own offense very quickly, Julia had to bail out of there and reset.
She's wise to it.
Coming up on the halfway point here in regulation, 3 down, 3 to go.
Agora, tira o quadril dela no chão.
Jockeying for position here. Now Alves briefly looking to go inverted.
She's playing for this K-guard and arm lock combo on the backside. Alex sniffing it out, but Julia switching sides. Taking the back movement. Very nice work.
Very nice.
Alex,
quite able to secure it. A nice attempt there by Alves. Now Enriquez trying to attack a leg, running out of real estate. Shaolin gonna separate them, put them back in the middle.
Well, Enriquez was smart because as Alves kept trying to invert and try to get to these back takes, she kept her hips low, she kept her weight back, and it looked like she wanted to start engaging a little more. And once she came up, and it gave Alves the space to roll underneath and get to her back. Savvy to it, didn't let her get her hooks in. Now they're resetting in the middle of the mat.
Yeah, slick move in a dangerous moment, though. Julia Alves showing she's not to be trifled with.
No.
Michael Chiesa.
Trifled with, I like that. The soothing tones of BMAC with the next level dialect. I like it. I like you, man.
That's a big word for him, by the way. Just under 2 minutes remain. Alves pushing away from Enriquez, now going inverted again.
And look at that, Alex rolling through, trying to use the inversion against, or sorry, Enriquez rolling through, trying to use Alves inversion against her.
That was nice.
Good scoop grip by Alex Enriquez. Forced Julia to bail.
Yeah, that's when you're going against somebody and you're finally able to get some offense going, and they use it against you, and you're having to go through plan A, B, C. You start to get deflated when you're just running out of options, because every time you get some momentum going your way, your opponent shuts it down and uses it against you. It's very challenging in that type of situation.
Alves with a 2-on-1 grip on the left arm of Enriquez.
You can see Alves' grips are so strong. The way she commits to him.
Yes. Let's see her elevate that butterfly hook, maybe go to that shoulder crunch again. Looks like she's going to fish for that leg entanglement.
5 seconds.
Inside the final minute here, BMAC, if we go to overtime where points come into play, do you expect the ebb and flow and pace of this match to change?
Yeah, I expect to see Julia come out and really turn up her aggression, but again, oh, this is a nice shot into the triangle choke.
Oh, Enriquez able to get free, now on a leg.
Julia proving very dangerous out here.
She's game. She's very, very game.
To answer your question, TJ, I do expect to see the pace changes, particularly for Julia. Alex, very experienced in points rule sets, but I mean, Julia, 7-time IBJJF gold medalist, 7 times she's done the same at AJP. She's definitely no stranger to knowing how to win.
Okay, stay up, don't give her points.
I think it's better to keep her turtling because her knee keeps coming out.
Yeah, keep attacking the pads more, less legs, okay? Force her turn now.
Force her turn,
okay?
Don't get so hung up.
Don't let her establish that 2-on-1, okay? Break the grip.
Let's go over
Take a look at
replays
some
here.
replays. Go ahead, Michael.
Look at this. You see Alves rolling, gets to the back take. As she gets to her seatbelt, she looks to roll through and get her hooks. Enriquez savvy to it, scoots her hips out, heists, gets back on top, and then you see here Alves inverting. And you look at how she uses her own inversion against her, looks to get back in that leg entanglement, and then come back out on top. And then look at this triangle attempt. Look at the way she shoots her legs up. It's so fast, the way she locked that in, and this is towards the end of the match. We're already talking about overtime, and she latches this triangle on, looks to adjust her grip, and right when she goes for the grip adjustment to lock that triangle, and Enriquez postures out, and now we find ourselves in overtime, fellas.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
4-minute overtime, points come into play.
If I'm Enriquez, I'm going to try to hit a slide by and get to the back to get the maximum amount of points I can before Alves sits to guard. Too little, too late, as Alves already sits down.
One more time, lose points for that.
Shaolin warning Alves, you can't try to sit down without forward momentum to try to improve the position, so stern warning there.
Yeah, and that's going to force Alves really to play into one of Enriquez's strengths here.
If I'm Enriquez, I'm looking for arm drags. I'm looking for slide bys. I'm looking to keep Alves on her heels so she can't get the forward momentum to stick to a guard. Keep pressuring her with the hand fight. Look for the arm drags, control the wrist. And if you control the wrist of your opponent, they can't shoot. So as long as she's controlling the wrist and pressuring her, she could get some takedowns.
Keep that pace, Alex. Vamos atacar, Júlio. Vamos atacar, hein?
She gets the 2-on-1 here. Alves pulls away.
She filtered her right to that 2-on-1, just didn't take advantage of it that time.
Action blue.
We'll see that work again.
Alves trying to pull guard there.
Nice shot from Enriquez. Alves stuffs it. And now we're going to get an opportunity for Alves to drop the guard.
Great work by Alex Enriquez. Got on the head, distracted her, traded off to the single leg, works it around to a body lock now, and she's going to try to jump the back.
Got that left hook in.
Good chest to back connection for Alex. Alves trying to slide her off the top.
And you can see with her right hand, she's working a half Nelson. She's got the half inch. If she keeps stuffing her head down, she could force her to roll through. And if she forces her to roll through, she could release her legs, get that other hook in and get the points.
And she could also take this Sula stretch
right here.
style.
Take the back first.
Oh man, I love me Sula.
With a twister maybe?
Oh.
She's going for the score.
She's on her hip. She's on a hip right now. She needs to get her hips up.
Does a good job. See how she moved her own hip away
yes.
to create some space to drop Alves' hip down into that pocket so she can square up.
She is so close to getting that right hook in, but she's got to get off her hip right now.
Again, see that little scoot away by Alex Enriquez to create a pocket for Alves' hip to drop down into.
Oh, she might be able to get it there.
Still fighting off that right hook of Enriquez is Alves.
And it looks like Alex may be thinking about trading for a mount right here, but she's still got scoring this back point on her mind.
It's just so hard to bail when you're that close to getting hooks in and getting the back points to take a chance of switching to a mount.
This is good, staying committed to it. But this is the right choice for sure by Alex.
And I like what she's doing with her right foot, Enriquez. We call that an anchor. So look how she's got her shin, her instep on the inside of Alves' ankle.
She traps the arm inside the back again. She's under the
choke.
neck.
There's a tap and it's done. Alex Enriquez locks up the rear naked choke in overtime, securing the victory here. Nicely done for the Autos Jiu-Jitsu Atlanta product. Alex Enriquez gets a tap, a very competitive match. A lot of scrambles. Really solid stuff, Michael.
Yeah, that was really good. I love the way that Enriquez went out there with her wrestling. And look at this, you can see she's got the seatbelt, and as she's gonna roll through right here, she's gonna come down to her left side. Look how she throws her legs over the top. Right here, traps the arm, sneaks her other hook in. Look, she changes the grip on that seatbelt, gets the rear naked choke finish, and that's the benefit of when you trap the arms with your legs, is your opponent starts thinking about the trapped arm, which opens up the window to lock in the rear naked choke finish.
Justin Bernard will make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vitor Shaolin calls a stop to the match for your winner by submission via rear naked choke, Alex Rodriguez.
All right, guys, I'm here with Alex. Alex, great job. Listen, you had to go into overtime, had to take it a little longer than you were maybe expecting. How are you feeling after that performance with the rear naked choke?
Man, we got the job done. Of course, the goal was to, get into more dominant positions early on in the match. But Julia's a tough opponent, very strong. I had to stay disciplined, stay focused in my positions, and, we're out the storm. She got a couple good looks, almost took my back, almost got a triangle in regulation. So I knew in overtime I had to push to, to pull out the win. And I'm glad I, was able to weather the storm and get the fin. finish.
Get the finish and get it here on the biggest stage in jiu-jitsu. UFC now hosting jiu-jitsu. How are you feeling? Are we going to see you back out here? Do you have somebody in mind that you want to take on?
Man, of course, I would love to be on the stage as much as possible. You know, my goal is always to perform and give the crowd a show. What better card than this card, you know? We have like 4 women's matches tonight, so I was happy to be able to represent as one of those matches. And as for anybody to fight next, I mean, anybody could get it, you know? I want to put my name in the mix for that 125 title, so whoever that is, let's go for it.
Well, your name is definitely in the mix, and congratulations on the win. Give it up for Alex Enriquez.
Alex Enriquez planting her flag on the Fight Pass Invitational mat tonight as she gets a beautiful submission in overtime over Julia Alves. Solid stuff for the Autos Jiu-Jitsu product. All right, our action continues. For more on tonight's proceedings, we go back to the 4th member of our team. It's Morgan Worth. Morgan, take it away.
Thank you, TJ. Grappling since the age of 4, 5-time IBJJF gold medalist Achilles Rocha is looking to represent his family's name once again on the UFC Fight Pass Invitational stage. The 18-year-old's strength in scrambles in top position, along with his ability to push the pace, is bound to bring fireworks as he goes against 27-year-old Nathan Haddad. With 21 years of jiu-jitsu experience and a background in MMA, the slugger out of Louisville looks to use his experience and aggressive style to put on a performance and finish Achilles before a regulation is over. This is one you are not going to want to miss, and later, Nick Rodriguez and Victor Hugo will meet for a 4th time, with the B-Team ace looking to best the Brazilian for a first. Those bouts and more continue exclusively on UFC Fight Pass.
Live from Las Vegas, UFC Fight Pass Invitational.
What UFC did is just unbelievable. They brought us the best grapplers in the world.
There's a tap, it is done.
I cannot believe what we just witnessed. That is locked in, and he gets the tap.
How good was that?
Insane.
It's a lion's den full of killers.
UFC Fight Pass, step into our world.
The king of middleweight, Isaiah Quinones, taking on undefeated Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux.
Now we saw
Quinones eats to land a big one here.
what an answer! Quinones defends the title!
We definitely got to run it back again.
It's the rematch that we have all been waiting for. Isaiah Quinones against Brandon the Butcher Bordeaux.
Chins are going to get tested.
In the co-main, our first ever lightweight title fight.
They're going to slap each other's heads off, and we've got 2 title fights. It all goes down at the beautiful Fountain Blue Las Vegas. Here we go.
The most dangerous and destructive champion in the sport today.
Magomed Ankalaev.
He's just so dominant, so well-rounded.
Ankalaev has the look of a future UFC champion.
He's a terrifying man.
Justin Gaethje. He is all action. That violent mentality. Rafael Pasiv.
This guy is nasty.
It's going to be insane. Race or violence.
Las Vegas, Nevada is known as the fight capital of the world, but it's quickly becoming the center of the jiu-jitsu universe.